It always starts the same way, with a smile. The kind that makes people feel seen, even if it's just for a moment. The kind that doesn't look dangerous. Until it is. His name was Ethan Cole, 29 years old. He worked as a financial advisor in a quiet American town, Ashbrook, Illinois. On the surface, he was everything a small town loved. Polite, funny, a gentleman who opened doors and remembered names. But behind that practiced charm was something else. A hunger, not for money, not for power, but for control. Locals said he could talk anyone into anything. Clients, colleagues, even the women he dated, they all said the same thing. Ethan made you feel like you were the only person in the room. But the story doesn't begin with Ethan. It begins with Lily Hart, 26, a local art teacher, the kind of person who believed in people too much. When Ethan met Lily at a fundraising gala in March 2019, he saw something in her, not love, not chemistry, but weakness. Voice clip, reenacted interview. He said things like, "You make chaos look beautiful." It sounds cheesy now, but in the moment it felt like poetry. Lily's friend, Sarah Jennings. They became inseparable. Within 2 months, they were living together. By the third, she had given him access to everything. Her home, her finances, her trust. To everyone else, Ethan was the perfect boyfriend. To Lily, he was home. But at Ethan, Lily was a project. He once told a colleague, "The best investments aren't in stocks, they're in people. You just have to know when to cash out." Those words wouldn't mean much, not until later. A few weeks later, things began to shift. Lily's friends noticed she stopped showing up at art classes. She stopped calling her sister. When her best friend asked why, she said, "Ethan doesn't like when I talk to other people about us." That's how it started. Isolation disguised as intimacy. Ethan would bring her breakfast every morning, leave love notes around the house, even buy her paints and brushes she couldn't afford. But behind every act of love was a lesson in obedience. He once said, "I don't want you to paint pain, Lily. You have me now, what more do you need?" The manipulation was subtle, calculated, and Lily, who had spent her whole life believing in happy endings, couldn't see it coming. By August, Ethan had convinced Lily to quit her job, just for a while, he said, to focus on her art. She agreed. What she didn't realize was that the moment she quit, she gave up the only world that wasn't his. From then on, every phone call, every purchase, every decision went through him. And that's exactly how Ethan liked it. In September, Ethan surprised Lily with a weekend getaway to a cabin outside Chicago. He told her it was a chance to reconnect. But the truth was darker. Police records later showed that the cabin was rented under a false name, David Harlan. That same alias appeared weeks later in a series of online loan applications, all tied to Lily's identity. Detective Marie Chun voiceover. He was planning this months in advance. He knew exactly how much she was worth, down to the cent. The investigation would later reveal over $78,000 in fraudulent transactions, all done in Lily's name, all linked back to Ethan's laptop. But before the money trail surfaced, something else did, something no one could ignore. On November 23rd, 2019, Ethan and Lily had dinner at her house. Neighbors said they heard laughter, music, nothing unusual. Around 9:30 p.m., a neighbor's camera caught Ethan leaving in his silver sedan. Lily was never seen again. 911 call. Reenactment. My sister's not answering her phone. Her car's here. The door's unlocked. Her shoes are inside. Call placed by Emma Hart, Lily's sister, November 24th. Inside the house, police found wine glasses on the table, both half empty. Lily's phone was charging beside the bed. No sign of forced entry. No blood. No struggle. Just one thing, a note taped to the fridge. It read, "I need to clear my head for a few days. Don't worry, Ethan knows where I am." The handwriting matched Lily's, almost perfectly. Almost. For weeks, Ethan played the grieving boyfriend. He did interviews, printed missing posters, even set up a GoFundMe for the search effort. He cried on camera, but one reporter, Daniel Reeves from Ashbrook Tribune, noticed something strange. Ethan's story kept changing. One day, he said Lily left after an argument. Another day, he claimed she was depressed. And when asked about the note, he said, "She wrote it right in front of me." Police searched his apartment on December 14th. Inside, they found a burner phone with 12 calls to unknown numbers, a set of disposable gloves, and a deleted photo recovered later from his laptop showing Lily asleep in bed. Her wrist bore a faint bruise. Detective Chun voiceover, "That was the moment we stopped looking for Lily alive." But even then, there was no proof of murder, no body, no weapon, just charm, lies, and a man who knew how to wear both. And then the message came. In January 2020, 6 weeks after Lily Hart vanished, Ashbrook police created a joint task force with the Illinois State Bureau. They followed more than 50 leads, bus stations, credit card pings, social media traces, and every trail ended where Ethan Cole began. They subpoenaed his financial records. What they found wasn't grief, it was arithmetic. Within 48 hours of Lily's disappearance, Ethan had wired $74,200 to an offshore account in the Cayman Islands. The money came directly from a loan in Lily's name. Detective Chun voiceover, "He didn't just steal her life, he budgeted it." Interrogator, "We just want to know where she is, Ethan." Ethan Cole, "If I knew, I'd tell you. I loved her." Interrogator, "Love, past tense?" Ethan chuckles softly, slip of the tongue. He never asked for a lawyer. He didn't need one. At least, he thought he didn't. Every answer came rehearsed. Every smile timed. But cameras catch what charm can't hide. When detectives left the room, Ethan leaned toward the mirror wall and whispered, "You'll never find her." That whisper would later become the key audio clip in the trial. 2 days later, a break came from a surprising place, Ethan's car. A forensic team found traces of synthetic adhesive and carpet fibers in the trunk. The fibers matched insulation from an abandoned farmhouse 15 miles outside town. Inside the farmhouse, investigators found Lily's paintbrushes, her phone case, and a single canvas. It showed a half-finished portrait of Ethan, smiling, painted in shades of gray, unfinished at the mouth. The brushstrokes around the lips stopped mid-curve, like she couldn't decide whether he was smiling or sneering. Near the easel lay a bloodstained rag. DNA matched Lily Hart. February 3rd, 2020. Ethan Cole was arrested outside a downtown cafe, drinking his usual black coffee, flirting with a waitress who would later say he didn't even look surprised. He just smiled and said, "Finally." The trial began in October 2021 and drew national attention. The media called him the charmer. True crime forums called him the investment killer. Prosecutors painted a portrait of calculated control, a man who weaponized affection to gain trust, wealth, and admiration. But Ethan insisted it was love gone wrong. Defense statement recorded, "My client did not kill Lily Hart. He panicked when she overdosed on anxiety medication and staged a disappearance to avoid suspicion." The story crumbled fast. Toxicology on a rag proved the blood was from a blunt force trauma, not medication. Still, the body was missing. No corpse, no conclusive cause of death. Jurors wavered until one final piece surfaced. Timestamp, November 23rd, 2019, 9:12 p.m. camera angle, low, facing Lily's living room. Ethan's voice, steady. "You keep saying you love me, but love isn't leaving Lily. You said you'd never walk away, and now you will never have to." A thud, a scream, silence. Then Ethan's calm whisper, "Don't worry, I'll make you immortal." The jury took 4 hours. Verdict: guilty of second-degree murder, fraud, and evidence tampering. Sentence: life without parole. But even justice has loose ends. During transport to Illinois State Penitentiary, Ethan requested a single item, a small wooden box retrieved from his apartment. Inside were Lily's unfinished canvases and a note written in his precise handwriting. "Love is not possession. It's the art of keeping someone even when they're gone." The same phrase was engraved inside the farmhouse doorframe, discovered only after the verdict. 2 months after Ethan's sentencing, construction workers near Ashbrook Lake dredged up a sealed steel barrel. Inside were Lily's remains and her diary. Every page detailed her fear, except the last one. The final entry read, "He says we'll be together forever." Maybe he's right. If love is control, maybe I'm just as guilty for giving it. Her handwriting, authentic. But beneath the entry was another line, written in darker ink. "This world only remembers the charming." Experts still debate whether Ethan wrote that final line after her death or whether Lily left it herself. Either way, it rewrote the motive entirely. Was his charm the weapon, or was her need to believe in it the fatal flaw? Some crimes are committed with guns, others with smiles. This is Criminal Mindset, where every smile hides a secret. What do you think? Was Ethan born a manipulator, or did love twist him into one? Drop your thoughts below. Subscribe for more real stories where psychology meets crime.